Hi, third graders. So today we're going to take a look at how we can use different digits and different signs to make different equations or math sentences. So these yellow post-it notes obviously are my digits, and the blue post-it notes are my signs. We now know we could add another post-it note, couldn't we? We could add the post-it note with the X on it because we now know multiplication, right? Okay, so we can add that one. Okay, so let's see if we can come up with any signs that would work for 4, 3, 2, 1 using any of those digits with a plus, minus, and an equal sign. So I have one like 4 minus 3 equals 1, right? So I used my numbers as my digits, and I made them numbers and used my signs and made an equation. All right, what if I did 2, I can't do that one. How about 3 plus 1 equals 4. Let's see, could I do anything else? Can I think of a multiplication one that will work? Do I have anything that would work? I don't, do I? Right? Because 3 times 1 would be 3. 3 times 2 would be 6. 3 times 4, do you know that one? Would be 12. So that one would, oh, it would work. Hold on a second. 3 times 4 equals 12. Look, it did work. I put my 2 post-it notes next to each other. So I put my 2 digits next to each other, and I got a 2-digit number, and then that multiplication sentence did work. That's awesome. Way to go, everybody. Okay. So today you're going to do a little fun sheet, and you're going to have digits, and you're going to have to try to figure out how to make those digits work. Now, I will give you a clue. You're not going to use multiplication today in this sheet. You could try to I should say this. Ready? You're not going to use multiplication in the top of the sheet, and I'll show you where perhaps you could try to figure out how to use it. Okay. But you're going to have multiplication. You're going to have digits in a row. And the thing is, they're not like my post-it notes. They're not like the ones that you can move. Okay. So for example, you're going to have 4, 3, 2, and 1, just like I started off with at the top of my paper. And then you're going to have perhaps an equal sign, and then another, it's actually not going to be post-it note, but another 2-digit number. So you have to figure out how you can make these 4 equal this 2-digit number, okay? And you're going to use either, and this is what makes it a little bit simpler, you're going to either use an addition sign or a multiplication sign. Okay. So if I put, let's say I put this digit over here, and I make it 4 plus 321. Is that going to equal 22? Of course not. No, that's not going to equal. And if I had 4, could I have 4 minus? No, of course, that won't work, right? You can't have a 4 minus a 3-digit number. That won't work. Okay, so if I had 43, and I said 43 plus 21, would that work? No, because 43 plus 21 is going to be good 64. That won't work. Okay, what if I did 43 minus 21? Would 43 minus 21 work? Yes, 43 minus 21 is going to equal 22. Okay, so I figured it out just by my second combination. But you're going to have to figure out how, or where, I should say, where to put the plus or the minus sign in order to make those numbers into digits that would equal the final either difference if you're subtracting, like in this one, because this 22 is the difference, or the correct sum. Okay, so let me show you. This sheet is in the packet that you picked up, okay? So you don't have to print it. It's in that packet, so get your green folder, or your, if you're in 3A, or your Ziploc bag if you're in 3H. And if you take a look, this is number 1. Look, it says write a plus sign or a minus sign somewhere in each problem to get the answer shown. 1 is done for you. Okay, now why did they say the answer shown? Good. They say the answer shown because if it's a plus sign, the answer would be called a sum. And if it's a minus sign, the answer would be called the difference. Okay, so they did the first one for you. Now take a look at number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 is equal to 46. You're going to add 1 plus sign or 1 minus sign. How are you going to get 46? So would 1 plus 234 equal 46? No. Would 12, could you subtract 12 minus 34? No. If you had 123 minus 4, would it equal 46? No. So you're going to go through number 2 through number 10, and you're going to try to figure out where you're going to put the plus sign and the minus sign in order to get this answer. Okay, and it's either a sum or a difference. It's a sum if you put a plus sign in, and it's a difference if you put a minus sign in. Look at this one. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8 is equal to 1,776. How are you going to get 1,776? I bet you can do it. Okay, so you're going to have to kind of play around. On the bottom half of the paper, 11 through 14, it says use the numbers below to create your own add a sign problems. Write the sum or difference after each equal sign and give your problems to a classmate to solve. Now, we can't do that part, can we? We can't give our problems to a classmate to solve. So you're going to add this, you're going to figure out what difference or sum you want, and then you're going to put your answer in here. So you're going to either put your plus sign or your minus sign, or wherever you put your plus or minus, then you have to figure out what your sum or your difference is. Now, here is where if you wanted to multiply, you could. And you're saying, Mrs. Helm, we don't know how to do that. Well, some of them you do. Could you do 6,540? I'm sorry, that wouldn't be right. Let me restart. 65,432 times 1. You do know that one. So if you could put a multiplication sign, if you could, even though the directions just say a plus sign or a minus sign. You can challenge yourself if you want to in these number 11 through 14. Okie doke. When you are finished with this whole page, so you're finished with numbers 2, because they did number 1 for you, 2 through 10, where you have to just add the sign, and then numbers 11 through 14, where you add the sign and you find the sum or the difference or the product, then I want you to take a picture and attach it to this file. Okie doke. All right, guys, have fun.